Alright. 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ThrottlEnthusiasts podcast. Sorry for last Friday not uploading because I am now caught up in recruiting a couple of hosts. I'm talking with Owen. His name's Misha. Hello, Misha.
Hi there.
Alright. It's recording, right?
Yeah, it's all recording.
Alright, so Misha, tell our listeners who you are and etc. etc.
Right. Hello everyone. My name's Misha, or Keish if you're on car throttle. 21, mechanic, 3 years of driving, 7 cars in total, 4 of them being Skodas. Big gamer, like my Benzes, like my Volkswagens, that sort of thing. Big Formula 1 fan. You pretty much can't really go ranting and raving about that.
Oh, we're gonna get along well.
But no, in all fairness, motorsport in general interests me. I can probably get into a few debates if need be. Spoiler alert, I am a Hamilton fan, so feel free to throw all your Hamilton conspiracies at me.
I apologize since I'm a Ross.
You're a Rosberg fan.
Yeah.
Well, this could be interesting for the last race then.
Oh man, this will get interesting.
In all fairness, it's definitely Rosberg's to lose.
Yeah,
it will take one
bad
start.
It really will.
It will take one bad start, and if anything's going to happen, a bit like what happened in 2014, it would be pretty unfortunate.
Well, I mean, 2014 wouldn't repeat itself because we don't have double points for Abu Dhabi.
And the trouble is, double points would have only worked if it was more than 2 cars. If you introduced double points into 2010 when you had 4 drivers fighting for the title, that would have worked, and that would have been a lot more interesting. But when you got 2 cars fighting it out in the same team, wasn't going to work. It was a one-hit wonder, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. But
yeah, we're not going to see it again. Well, at least not for unless Mercedes OP is going to stop.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, Misha, what kind of car are you interested in?
What kind of car am I interested in?
European cars, muscle cars.
Yeah, I know. I like my European cars. Big fan of the wagons or the estate cars. I do like my estate cars. Yeah. Muscle cars. Not a big fan of the JDM cars, I must say. No. Stuff like Skyline Supras don't do it for me. I think they're all kind of a bit been there, done that. Move on. But RX-7 will have a soft spot for me. Celica GT4 would have a bit of a soft spot. Do like the K cars. Big fan of the Suzuki Cappuccino. I do have like a wide variety of taste. There's not like a definitive. I hate this and I hate that.
You're open-minded. That's it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say I hate kind of cars like the Skylines and the GTRs and that. I mean, if I was given a choice, I wouldn't have one. But there's nothing to say that I hate it and things like that. Like, oh, I think it's a terrible car and all this. They're good cars. They just don't do it for me.
Yeah, being an Australian, V8 Supercars and the previous name of it, the Australian Touring Car Championship.
Yeah. So you're holding Falcons.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So man. Okay. So this is the man.
I do like the good old Aussie V8s. If I was going to choose, I'm a Holden boy.
Thank you very much.
So we found mutual ground.
Okay, we're really going to get it. We're really going to go get along well.
That's good. Yeah, no, Holden
Okay,
was the one
because,
for me. But it was interesting because it's a bit hypocritical considering my Skype profile picture is Craig Lowndes 00 Falcon.
the AU Falcon.
Yeah, the AU one. I must admit it was weird. I liked the Holdens, but I always thought the Ford Falcon of that year was the better looking cars, especially the green-eyed monster.
Yeah. Of course, who's your favorite V8 supercar driver?
Oh, see, that's tough. That is tough. Well, you got to put Greg Murphy up there. I've liked him. I mean, that lap he did back in 2003 round Bathurst, pretty special.
Oh, the lap of the gods. Right?
Yeah.
The one that.
But I think my favourite driver at the moment would be a toss-up between Jamie Whincup and Scott McLaughlin.
Oh, I'm not the biggest fan of Jamie Whincup. I'm actually cheering for Shane Van Gisbergen for the next week.
Yes, he's quite a good driver as well. I do like him. Fabian Coulthard is pretty good, and he was pretty good.
Fabian Coulthard, Fabian Coulthard, and then Mark Winterbottom, the Ford guy.
Yep, Mark Winterbottom. Marcus Ambrose back in the day was very good. He was a good driver.
Marcus Ambrose.
Then you had people like Garth Tander as well.
Garth Tander, and then also Mark Skate.
That's it. That's the other one, Mark Skate. Oh, and then you had Todd Kelly as well.
Todd Kelly, Rick Kelly.
Yep. Craig Bird. He was another one from a few years back. He raced in British touring cars.
Who?
Craig Bird. He was a New Zealander.
Oh yeah, Craig Bird.
Yeah, he raced. He raced in the Mondeos back in the late '90s in British Touring Car Championship.
Never really followed BTCC, I'll be honest.
The best time to be around the BTCC was the '90s, but I mean then you had like the Laguna, you had the A4, the Honda Accord, Peugeot 406. Like literally any car you'd see going up and down the motorway to work and back, they were on the track, and that was the time to live. None of these kind of like poxy little kind of tin top hatchback things like the Honda Civics and things. The racing's good at the moment, but it's not as interesting and it's not as focused as it was 20 odd years ago, because that was where a lot of drivers made their names and where a lot of the manufacturers made their names as well. So like the Lagunas, they were well known and very popular because of touring car racing. Same story with the 406, the Mondeo, the A4 Quattro, legend car.
Of course. I only know one BTCC driver, Sam Tordoff.
Yeah.
Do I pronounce that correctly?
Sam Tordoff. Yeah.
Sam Tordoff. And then, of course, Jason Plato.
Yeah, he's been around for yonks. I think he's been around pretty much longer than I have.
Jason Plato is like, I'm trying to think of someone. Jason Plato is like Jeff Gordon to NASCAR, pretty much in BTCC.
Yeah,
he's been around for quite a while.
I think he's done over 500 races.
500 races?
Yeah. He's done over 500 races and goodness knows how many wins.
Consecutively?
Sorry?
Oh, wow.
He's been around the block a few times, I'll tell you that. But apparently.
Okay, what about the Craig Lowndes? How long has he been around?
I think he's been around for quite a few years.
Yeah, I mean 20 years at least.
Yeah, I mean he's got to be around. I mean when he was racing the 00 Motorsport car, you still had people like John Bowe and again you had Greg.
John Bowe.
Yeah, Bowe.
John
yeah. You could, again he had Greg Murphy, Garth Tander was around then when he was driving the Valvolines Cummins Holden, which was a nice colour scheme, I have to admit. Then he had Russell Ingram around that time, so he's been around for quite a long time.
Yeah, and then looking at him, right now in the Team Vortex car, still competitive.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's
absolutely impressive.
It's not as if he's just kind of there, kind of being driftwood, like you see like most drivers. So, going back to Formula One, it's almost kind of a bit like I hate to say it, a bit like Massa. I think it's a shame to see him retire, but I think it's kind of long overdue. If you know what I mean. And
also,
the same with Ruben Barrichello when he was there.
You can stop sharing his screen. You can stop the share screen right now.
Okay.
Stop sharing screen. It's a bit bugging to my cell phone right now.
Oh right.
All right. So where were we? Oh yeah, Sam Torodov and Jason Plato and Craig Lowndes.
Yeah, Craig Lowndes. I'm trying to think who else we had, because I remember we did have. We had another guy from down under who raced in touring cars. I'm sure we did. I can't remember his name to save my life, but I think he was another one. He kind of. That's it. Paul Radish.
Ah.
He was in the Peugeot. He raced in the Peugeot 406, and then he drove the Shell Helix car in the Aussie V8, which was that like really mental colour scheme. It was like yellow and red and things like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, slightly off topic. I'm currently trying to extend my subscription to Supercar Superview, which is basically a live streaming service of V8 supercars.
Oh, that's cool.
And my God, the price have risen.
Yeah.
$39.95 Australian dollars. Hell no.
Oh, that's I don't know what that is in pound sterling. Maths was never a strong thing for me because so I don't see the point of using it.
Yeah, just pretend that doesn't exist. Right. So, what else should we talk about?
What else should we talk about? I guess we could.
What do you drive? What do you drive?
I drive a 2003 Skoda Octavia.
VRS?
Nah, the insurance company won't allow that. I drive. It's a 1.9 TDI diesel, 110 brake. But it's what they call the Laurent and Clement range. So it's the top of the range model. So you get nice smoked alloy wheels, and I'm being honest here, it has probably got the worst colour interior ever.
Tan?
Yeah, you know, have you ever seen a program called The Only Way Is Essex, or like Geordie Shore? And you know the fake tan that they have plastered on their face. Basically, it's like basically what Skoda have done is they've skinned an Impala.
What the hell was that?
Right, that is my PlayStation notification going off. I've got it on the phone, and it was on the Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, that's really loud.
But yep, that's another thing. I am PlayStation all the way, PS1 to PS4, and the PS2 is hooked up to my car as well.
Said that you've had 7 cars in your life. What are they?
Right, where do I begin? Well, when I passed my test, my first car was a Fiat a Fiat Seicento.
Seicento 600?
Yep, that's right. And it was a nice car, in all fairness. Nice car. Except when it worked. So every Tuesday it decided it wasn't going to work and it wasn't going to run. And so you kind of fix it again and again and again. And it was fun. And then you get a bit bored and it starts becoming more of a chore rather than a pleasure to fix. And believe it or not, I still actually got that car. It's sitting at my grandparents' house. It's been sat there for like 2 years. But yeah, I mean, at one moment when I had the Fiat, I parked it up for quite a while because it needed a lot of work doing to it. I had a Peugeot 106, a 1996 Peugeot 106.
What trim?
It was a 1.1 litre, and it had no power steering, and it had bright blue interior with loads of shapes. You know, like on buses, and you have all like the weird patterns on the seats.
Yeah, I know, like triangles, yellow, and then green lines.
It was that. It was what they called the Escapade model. So it was like a special. It was like a weird edition that they had. So it meant you got like funky colour schemes and goodness knows what. And one day I left the sunroof open, and a big storm came rolled by, and I didn't think much of it until I got in the car and realised it had flooded a little bit.
Oh well.
So
oh wow.
So that wasn't particularly fun. But
judging from your car history, you're quite a hot hatchback fan.
I do. Well, I must admit, I quite liked my small cars, and the thing with the Seicento that I had, it was only about 60 brake, but the difference with having a small car like that with 60 brake compared to something like, you know, maybe like a Fiesta ST or even like a Civic Type R, is that you're able to use all that 60 brake. You know, and you can have so much fun with it. It's quick through the corners. It was a nimble little car. But like, you know, you can use all the power, and it brings a smile to your face. And that was when I pulled off my first successful handbrake turn as well.
Oh, nice. Did you have a girl with you?
I had 3.
Okay.
And the handbrake turn was also around another girl who wasn't impressed by it, but the girls inside the car were. So I called out a result.
Alright. It's faster to drive a slow car fast than driving a fast car slowly.
True. You've got more of a fear factor driving a slow car fast.
Yeah, to be fair, the most powerful thing I've driven was a Honda Fit, and that was my uncle's.
They see a Honda Fit. That would be a Honda Jazz over in the UK.
Oh, they called the Honda Jazz too in the UK. Okay, I thought they called it the Honda Fit. Okay, it was a Honda Jazz. It's Honda Jazz in Indonesia too.
Oh, okay.
Just to avoid confusion, I swear it's called the Honda Fit in UK, but apparently not. Okay.
No, it's the Honda Jazz over here. The Honda Fit, I believe, is kind of what they call it out in the States and Canada and Japan. I think.
North
I don't understand why they have different names for the same car. It just seems so pointless.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to the world of badge engineering.
Oh yeah, you know, you can't. So I mean, like, for example, if someone didn't know any better, so go, oh, I drive a Honda Fit, and you go, well, what on earth is that? And it's like, it's a small little Honda car, and then they show you a picture and go, well, that's a Honda Jazz, and they'll be like, no, it's a Honda Fit. But then again, I guess it's to do with marketing. I mean, the Kia Picanto, for example, is actually called the Kia Morning for some reason.
And then I remember Mitsubishi, you know the Pajero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to change the name to Montero because apparently Pajero or Pajero means, well, is Spanish for wanker.
Oh, really? That's a bit like the Ford Pinto, which never sold well in South America. because it meant
So what?
it meant the
So
tiny
what
fingers.
did they do?
Because it meant little Willy basically, Pinto. So you'd be driving
Okay.
around in a little Pinto, you'd get laughed at if you were a bloke. And then it wasn't a very good news when you got rear-ended either, so you're kind of doubly losing out.
Yeah. If you get rear-ended, well, good luck.
Well, yeah, if you walk out of that, you've obviously done something right with your life.
Yeah, you've escaped death. Really.
You've cheated death. That's it.
You have outsmarted God. Really.
Oh dear, but yeah, no, because after the Peugeot then died, and then
What happened?
the Peugeot died. It failed its MOT, and for it to just scrape through the MOT, it needed a grand's worth of work doing to it, which I was not willing to do.
So you just, abandoned the Peugeot, I guess.
Yep, I sold it to a bloke for 40 quid. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So after that, I then decided to go and get the Fiat fixed. So I sent that off to get that fixed, and then I had my mum's Punto for a little bit. So that was good fun driving that around. And then it was a Grande Punto.
Okay, Grande Punto. So it's the newer one, I guess.
The newer one. The one that's in Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Of course.
Which was a great car to start. Again, digressing slightly, that was a brilliant car to start out with. I had one, and I used it all the way through the campaign to the end.
Okay.
One drag race I did 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds.
The same way I had my Golf GTI at Need for Speed Carbon. I remember that game like it was yesterday.
The R32, that was it. See, I had the Clio V6. That was a quality car.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then after the Grande Punto, what did you get?
Well, I also had the Seicento, and then
Seicento.
yeah. So then that was fun, and then that started to break again, and then I got fed up with it. So that's parked at my nan's for about 2 years. But then desperate times called for desperate measures, and I needed a car, and this is where we get on to the worst car I've ever owned. And I don't think anything will beat it. It was my cousin's car, but it was my cousin's car, but she can only drive automatic. So she gave me her 1 litre Suzuki Alto.
Oh God, that
a 2001 Suzuki Alto automatic.
So the one with the funky little round headlights and then the circle grille and stuff.
No, earlier than that. It's
earlier than that.
It was
I have to look it up.
Yeah,
I have to look it up. Hang on.
It's not a pretty car, I'd say, especially when she had eyelashes on it.
Wait a minute. What year was your
2001.
Your cousin's Suzuki Alto?
2001.
2001. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not the greatest car. I'll be honest.
No. But then,
God.
So I had that car maybe 3 months, and then I had some good news because I at the time I was working at a Skoda garage as a technician, and they as a mechanic, and they were doing a company car scheme.
What did you get as your company car?
Yeah, so I had a company car. So this is it was basically a staff car scheme. So it was my car, but a few alterations meant I'd give the car back within a year. So that was literally like a get out of jail free card for me, because I thought, brilliant, I don't have to drive this crap car anymore. So actually, for quite a jump, I ended up with a Skoda Fabia 1.6 Estate Monte Carlo.
Skoda Fabia. That's the one that they used in rallies, right?
Yeah, that's the one they used in rallying.
Yeah,
But it's the model before.
Autogol and then
Yeah, it's the model they do. It's the model before. It's the model before the one they're using at the moment. But it was a Fabio Estate Monte Carlo, and basically had it in red, and it had 17-inch black alloy wheels with kind of black kind of trims on it and black roof bars, and it looked absolutely gangster. It's in the car throttle garage. I mean, I haven't got the car anymore, but I uploaded it to the car throttle garage, so you can see it there. But it was a pretty dope car, I must admit.
Oh yeah.
So I had that for about 9 months, and then because I was on a capped mileage, I went over that mileage, so I ended up with another car. So I ended up with a new Fabia Estate, but that was a blue one, wasn't a Monte Carlo, but that was still a pretty nice car. That was a nice car to drive. Had nice little optional extras on it. So it had Bluetooth, and you would talk on the phone, play music through it, and that was pretty cool. But then decided to buy another car alongside it. So this is where the first Skoda Octavia came from. So this was my black one that I had, and that was a really nice car. I paid 900 quid for it because it came through work. 900 quid, and it was low mileage, done about 108,000 miles. So 900 quid for a car that's done 108,000 miles. If you're in the UK and you've looked at Skoda Octavias, you'll know that a Skoda Octavia with 108,000 miles on the clock would go for something about 1600 quid, maybe a bit more, depending on the spec. So
how did you manage to get that?
So to pick this car up for about 900 quid was a bargain. And then...
So, how the hell did you manage that?
Well, because I got it through work, it was a trade-in, and they just kind of knocked off the price on it. They just gone, well, we'll give you 900 quid for it. So I was like, fine, there you go. And it was, I could have quite happily sold that car the next day for 1600 quid, and the phone would have been non-stop ringing. So, that was probably the first car I did my first few mods on it. I did a EGR delete, and I had a custom exhaust. The back box had the silencer taken out, but the back box came from a 110 Defender. So it was attached to an Octavia exhaust system. So I fitted that to the car, and it had no silencer or anything. So it meant it just ran straight through, and it made quite a nice noise for a diesel. But then, well, yeah, it was basically, and it kind of, it whistled, especially with the EGR delete. It kind of, you heard the whistle, and the turbo used to kind of flutter as well. So that was pretty cool. And on the plus side, it was very economical. I did a 70-mile round trip in it once with a full car load. So that's basically me and 4 people in the car, and that doing about 80 miles an hour.
It can sit 3 adults comfortably.
Yeah, relatively comfortably. So yeah, about three average size adults.
So it's
doing about
quite a big car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a big. It's basically a Golf, but it's a bigger Golf.
So it's a bigger. Okay, I'm trying to get an idea.
It's like
around the size of Jetta, VW Jetta.
The what? Sorry.
So it's around the VW Jetta.
Yeah, Jetta. Yeah, kind of like that. Or
okay.
So the Jetta or the Bora, wherever you come from. It's basically that size, and yeah, absolutely comfortable. You sit on the motorway, 70-80 miles an hour, and that thing would be ticking over about 53-54 miles to the gallon, no problems at all.
Whoa! That's a lot of miles per gallon.
54 miles per gallon.
54. That's like hybrid, even.
Exactly. And you know what?
That's like...
and seriously, if any of you guys, if you've got old diesel cars, something like a PD engine car or a non-PD one, I seriously recommend getting an EGR delete, because especially if you own a VAG car, so if you own a Volkswagen, an Audi, Seat, Skoda, or a VW fan or whatever, I seriously recommend getting an EGR delete, having that done, and then maybe doing, maybe get an exhaust, getting a newer, a performance, not a performance exhaust, but perhaps taking the silencer out and straight through a new exhaust, because I guarantee you, your fuel consumption will drastically change. Put it this way: in that Octavia, I did a 20. I drove to my friend's house. It was about 15-20 miles. Beforehand, when I did it, I probably got about 45-50 to the gallon if I was being really careful. In this trip, I got about 66, and there were times when I was kind of, being a bit. It's absolutely amazing. You're just eliminating all the crap that he's doing to try and make it more economical.
Okay. I'm no mechanic. You are a mechanic, so can you explain me why does that happen?
Well, basically, because you've got so much to restrict all of the fumes and the noxious gases coming out the back. So when you see a lot of the cars, when you look on YouTube and that, they've got all that black smoke pluming out, all the carbon and stuff. So when you're clearing that out, that's just literally clearing all the gunk out. It just means it just runs cleaner and better, and you just get more miles to the gallon.
What? Okay, so what you're saying is the manufacturer makes worse exhaust system than aftermarket systems or something?
Well, because you've got all these silencers and you've got all these back boxes and everything to in an exhaust system, taking all that out means it just runs straight through and out. So you get you get more power, you get more. It's able to breathe a lot easier, and there's no backlog or clogging up or anything. But diesels and Volkswagen will kind of gloss over that, that area. We kind of go, but yeah, and I'll tell you what, that Octavia, it was quite, for petrol, that was quite a close bond me and that car had. It got me out quite a few sticky situations, and it kind of came to the rescue for lots of people. But then I wrote it off. As I said earlier, I went into the back of a Mondeo on the way to work one morning, and I was annoyed because that was my first proper accident that I had. But then I was equally annoyed because he was able to drive to work after this minor inconvenience for him, because all he had was a slight little scuff on his bumper, and my front end was completely caved in.
What the heck?
I know.
Wow.
If I was going to have a crash, I'd at least want to take the guy with me. There's no point of him kind of sitting there looking, going, oh no, there's just a scratch. Oh, that's right, I'll leave it. And then you're kind of left there, coolant's leaking all onto the dual carriageway, your front end all crumpled in, and you kind of looking there knowing you're not going to.
Reminds me of the accident that me and my dad had. Nissan Pathfinder or Toronto, whatever they call it over there.
Oh, the 4x4, the old 4x4, based on the old Ford Maverick.
I'm trying to look it up. Nissan Toronto.
The Toronto, yeah. Yeah,
Toronto, yeah. Mine is a 2005 model. So basically, we were traveling around 100 kilometers an hour around the motorway. Basically, someone slightly cut off my dad. He, of course, reacted and braked. Okay, he braked a bit, and then suddenly at 100 kilometers an hour, Toyota Avanza, which is like the best-selling car in Indonesia, just rear-ended us. Literally, one of those little speakers in that you put in the dashboard, everything, Yeah, it just collapsed, and then he had a GPS. He attached it to the windscreen. That also collapsed. just to give you an idea on how hard the impact was. So we pulled over. After that, we were shocked. Okay, just look up the Toyota Avanza, Avanza, and then it's apparently the best-selling car in Indonesia. Also, one of the most unsafest car. Literally, it's
Toyota Avanza.
Yeah,
it's quite an ugly looking. It's quite an ugly looking car, I must admit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what happens when Indonesian designs cars.
Oh dear.
It's basically the ultimate. It's basically the ultimate example of cost-cutting measures. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd want to drive one. Okay, it kind of makes me glad I don't see that in our country.
Yeah. Continuing on. So what happened was okay. I saw like what happened to your Skoda. The whole front end was shattered, like completely, boom. You know. And then when I looked at my car, you know what's left of my car, Suriran?
Go on then.
Just just a little crack on the brake light. That's it. Like
Wow.
that was it. And then maybe the exhaust pipe slightly collapsed.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, that's 100 kilometers an hour. That's like
That's crazy.
62
I mean,
62 miles an hour, I guess.
I must have gone into the back of this guy at maybe about 20 miles an hour because I broke because I looked at because I remember looking through the trip computer, just kind of scrolling through the trip computer, and I looked up, realised that this car had come to a stop, and I was still travelling I was kind of slowing down, but I wasn't slowing down quick enough. So I then kind of put my foot as hard as I could on the brake, and I couldn't swerve to avoid it, and I'm like, it's either going to be very close or I'm going to go straight into the back of him, and yeah, went straight into the back of this guy.
Oh,
And
really unfortunate.
it was good. But funny enough, obviously I had to go through the insurance company and I had to say it was my fault, I crashed into him and all of that. So they said, judging by the sound of things, your car's a write-off. So for about a day I was really upset. Following day they phoned me up, they got the car at this place where they take all the written off cars to, and had someone evaluated it and they gave me 1,400 quid for it. So basically, by crashing my car, I made a profit.
Okay, that.
So,
This is not. This is.
there's a tip for you guys. If you want to make a profit on your car, just write it off.
Yeah, just buy. I don't know. How cheap can a classic Mini go in England?
A classic Mini.
How much are the? Yeah, I mean, how cheap can they be?
The trouble is with cars like an original Mini, you do pay for what you get. So you could probably pay, maybe £1,000, but it would be in really poor condition. Or you can pay something up to maybe about 6 or 7.
Let's say you bought a Mini for £1,000. You write it off. The insurance will pay you like £2,000.
Yeah.
So how much profit did you earn?
I think that was well, actually, no. Technically speaking, they had to take the excess off, which was about 500. So it was only 900. So I basically broke even. But if I was given, but there and then, that was a 500 quid profit.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
Also,
and then so with that, I bought my other Octavia, which is the one I've got at the moment.
The police. Okay, and then if anyone here works for, I don't know, insurance fraud units, this is clearly not an insurance fraud.
Nope. He wasn't coming out complaining of back pains, which was good.
All right, fair enough. How long's the podcast been?
Sorry.
How long? Check the recording time on the bottom right of the OBS. How long is it now?
39 minutes.
39 minutes. That should be enough. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So thanks for joining, Misha. I'm looking forward to talk to you again maybe next week.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. We'll have to. I've enjoyed it. It's been good fun. Been good to get my views and points across.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to do some more episodes with you in the following weeks.
Cool stuff.
Hope you listeners enjoyed this little introduction podcast. And well, this has been ThrottlEnthusiasts. I'm Aditya Nugroho, and alongside me is Misha. What's your name again?
Misha, or me, or just Keish if you're following me on Car Throttle. Could I also make a shout out as well?
Sure.
Just a little side thing me and a buddy are doing. We run a little kind of sort of media photo videos thing called Sector 1 Arts. Give us a like on Facebook, have a look through our stuff, look on our YouTube channels. It's we're slowly but surely building up our videos and our plans of things, and that involves project cars, dirt rally, a lot of the racing games mainly, and a few other games on the side as well from a few other people. Yeah, have a look on the Facebook page, have a look at our pictures. If you're on the